So, first of all, on behalf of Rime Dharma Center, we heartily and welcome His Eminence Lhakhang Rinpoche to have accepted to deliver these 3 online introductory teachings before his first retreat in Italy. I have fully appreciated the collaboration, the close collaboration with Maya Nawang Tashilamo, Maria Teresa Miraglia, Egle Purtulite. Let me remind you all that Egle is the first Italian disciple to Lhakhang Rinpoche. So it is very, very important, our close collaboration. And I thank also very much both Tashi, Egle, Maria Teresa Miraglia for their constant support. And I thank you all from everywhere you are for this session. It is so important for us that His Eminence accepted our invitation to Italy, because let me briefly, before starting his teachings, also thank so very much our Vajra sister Clara Lovisetti, who is the Italian interpreter. So she is very skilled, and she translated with her husband, our dearest brother Federico Ballarin, a lot of books by Chogyal Namkhai Norbu Rinpoche, and she is also one of the translators from English to Italian to the monastic congregation Shenten Darjeeling. So every support, the collaboration is the base of the Sangha. So I remind very well when on 1996, His Holiness the 12th Yalwang Drukpa, upon Chogyal Namkhai Norbu's invitation, came to Italy, and it was the very first time that a Drukpa master, so the supreme holder, throne holder of Drukpa Kagyu Lineage, bestowed the Chakrasamvara initiation and other Drukpa teachings. So this is a real great opportunity to us to continue this. And the next July retreat is of the utmost importance for Rime Association. And every year, His Eminence has accepted to come to Italy to complete, I do hope so, the 6 Yoga of Naropa teachings. So thank you once more, Rinpoche, for your kindness. And I, on behalf of Rime, we are aware of the blessing, of the importance of the Drukpa Kagyu lineage, also because Chogyal Namkhai Norbu Rinpoche was recognized as the mind reincarnation of the Shabdrug Nawan Namgyel. And so from Tsagye Tare and to Pema Karpo, so it's incredible connection, karma connection with us. So it is so important, so important. And so I stop here to talk, but from the bottom, from the deep of my heart, I thank you so very much, Rinpoche. And I do hope that we will receive the blessing of your teachings, initiation, transmissions from now on. Thank you very much, Rinpoche. Thank you.
And first, greetings from my side to all of you, and a very good morning, especially to you, to all the Italian people. Over here it's afternoon, but for your time is a very good morning. So, and as Mr. Paolo has said already, introduced about me, so I think we have met through the Zoom conference before also one time, yeah? Last year on the December. But that time, due to the place and environment, and the connection was also not very good. Yeah? So we could not be able to continue. So in this April, according to Paulo's wishes and his request, so each of Sunday of full of this April, for the rest of 2 hours, we can have a conversation and the talk about the introduction of the Drukpa lineage and also from the 6 yugas of Naropa. Yeah. So today is the first our session. Well, and thank you very much for me to inviting in the Rime Association to join with all of you. And I'm very pleased to have this opportunity. And from my side, heartily, very much thank you for this opportunity to Paolo and Igle and to all of you for inviting me. So I would like to ask first that should I begin like with my introduction SMS we did last year, or we don't need to do? Cannot hear.
You can start Rinpoche as we planned in the program with the introduction and so on.
Okay. Because I just thought that, last December, we have introduced one time already. So I think we have to go through that again, or maybe we just continue.
A little bit because I guess the audience is wider. I don't know what happened, but as the audience is wider, and more Italian people join now, so if you agree, please let me somehow restart our previous program in order to pave the way for your coming to Italy.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you very much. So before that, I will go with a short prayer with the refuge and the Bodhisattva development. Okay?
Yeah.
Short prayer. Sangye Chodan Tsoge Chanamla, Changshu Partundane, Gyabsuche, Dagi Jingson Jebe Sunamje, Drola Pancher Sanje Druparasho. Sangye Chodan Tsoge Chanamla, Changshu Partundane, Gyabsuche, Dagi Jingson Jebe Sunamje. Drola Pancher Sanje Druparasho, Sangye Chodan Tsoge Chanamla, Changshu Partundane, Gyabsuche, Dagi Jingson Jebe Sunamje. Drola Penjira Sanjian Druparasho, Simchen Tamchen Dewa Dan Dewe Judan Tempera Juji, Dungal Dan Dungal Ge Judan Talwan Juji, Dungal Meben Dewa Tamba Tamendrewa Juji, Dedukin Ju Chadan Yiring Dan Trave, Tanyum Seme Bala Nebar Juji, Omen Chuji Yingi Podane, Tusum Sanji Gunji Mowani. Ransum Shogun Sum Tunzebe, Zawe Lame Shabla Sowa, and the Palden Zawe Lama Rinpoche, Dagin Hinkar Peme Sandrula, Dalwa me ba da bora shune jang ku song tu ji chen che lao tu so yuen dan sang je kun da nyam na yang ka chen sang je tong le lao kwen kun sa we la me shao la so wan de en dao so lo na che lan jong wa ra sho nang ka da nyen be sim je tam je je den du nam chen do be sang je je ko bang ren bo je to ba cha de je du da gi ta re dam be shue sam mo she ba la che ra nam je tong ma ra ku lo chang ju sho du sim ke ne sem ba ra cha okay. So this will be the translation has been simultaneous, or I have to take a break for the
No,
translation.
we have the Italian channel and we do up also the Russian channel, so you can go ahead. It's simultaneous.
Okay, sure. So, well, from the beginning now, and many of you, I think, in nowadays we can say, no, I don't think so that we have to go through the all over to the beginning, yeah, because everyone knows about the Vajrayana, and there are some different three different ways of the yanas and everything. And even in the Vajrayana, there's a four different sect. Yeah, four different sect. As the Nyingma and Geluk, Kagyu, and Sakya. So the four different sect. And especially this time, we are talking about introduction about the sixth yoga of Naropa, introduction, and the Drukpa lineage. Sixth yoga, when we talk about the sixth yoga nowadays, in worldwide, or we can say in the most of in the Western country, sixth yoga has been very much popular, I can say. And many of the people around the world want to know about the inner heat, yeah. And nowadays, even to the many Rinpoches, which means the reincarnated one, they are also practicing through the meditation and the inner heat. And the scientist has been checked with a very much of putting their wires, yeah, on the head, and whether it is true or fake, yeah, is it real or fake, they're checking, and they've get to know that it's a real. So yeah, kind of it's become a very interesting, and therefore yoga is not actually something new, or if we take it as what you called a personal, then it is not something related to some kind of a religious thing. Yeah. The yoga, yeah, is not kind of a something really belongs to the so and so religious, because it has been started from the many, even from the many eons before. But even though in this yoga we are talking about, it has been started from the Indian great Mahasiddhis, Indian great 84 Mahasiddhis, and especially about the sixth yoga. When we talk about the sixth yoga of Naropa, that one was the great Mahasiddhi, well known by the Tilopa. It has been started from the Tilopa and then transferred to the Naropa. the great Mahasiddhi, Naropa.
Or there are
And-
energy manifestations. Because if you say that they are beings, so they're kind of the spirits, but not really, you know, the beings like in this.
Sorry, Rinpoche, someone switch on his mic.
Okay. So the Naropa. From the Naropa, then it has become more popular. Okay. It has become more popular, and then now in many villages, there are many different types of the yoga. And yeah, most of the peoples nowadays, they're practicing the yogas and all kinds of the what we're talking about, the chakras and channels and everything. So when we really talk about the straight to the point, so it is not kind of a dependent on some so and so religious. Yeah, it's a natural things that we are talking about. And only the way different it is the who really care and who really strongly followed the practice. So later when it comes getting more and more popular from the India, and then it has been the practice has been taken to the Tibet also. From the India, it has transferred to the Tibet. And from the Tibet, then it has, in the Vajrayana, they've separated with the 6 different kind of a sect from the Tibet. In India, there was no any sect before. The time of the Naropa and time of the Tilopa. Because the time of the Naropa and the Tilopa, it was it was kind of in this centuries that with 1100, yeah, CE. It is mentioned like that. 1100 CE. So in that time, there was no any sect, as we call it, Kagyu, Nyingma, Sakya, Giluk. They have only the practice, the way of the practice. After when the practice has been went to the Tibet side, and from the Tibet, then the 4 different sect in the Vajrayana has been started, which we called, the first was come the Nyingma, and then the Kagyu, and the Sakya, and the Giluk. 4 different sect. And then even in the 6th yoga, that has been come in the Kagyu sect, the Kagyu Lineage sect. Even though in the Kagyu, there are 4 minors, 4 major and 8 minors. Even in the Kagyu the Kagyu sect was very, very, very huge and very popular in Tibet, all over the Tibet. Most of the upper sides of the Tibet, there's the upper, medium, and the lower part. Yeah, in the map you can see the upper side, where the side of the Mount Kailash. Most of the side of Mount Kailash are the the Kagyu lineage. And even in the Kagyu, there are, as I said, the 8 major and 4 minors. And Drukpa Kagyu, when we talk about the Drukpa Kagyu, and Drukpa Kagyu comes in the minors, yeah, in the 8 minors. And now from the Naropa, actually, the 6th yoga was received by the Marpa Loza. Okay, the Marpa Loza, the great Tibetan translator, the Marpa Loza, which is the students of Naropa, and the teacher, or we can call it the guru of the great Tibetan yogi Milarepa. So Marpa went to India to receive the 6 yogas of Naropa teachings to Tibet. So Marpa from all over to Tibet to India, he went to receive all those 6 yogas of Naropas, and especially the 6 ornaments of Naropa. Yeah, 6 ornaments. 6 ornaments of Naropa, so that Naropa has been given, or we can call it transferred to Marpa Loza. And he received this and taken back to the Tibet. Yeah. And from the Marpa also has many disciples. Yeah. He also has a great students who is a very, very great practitioners, included Jisun Milarepa. So the 6 yogas of Naropa and the Naro ornaments, that one is given to from the Marpa and transferred to the Ngok, yeah, Lama Ngokton. Lama Ngokton, and then it comes to the Metripa. Yeah, Metripa, and then it comes to the Pangmontupa and the Gambopa, like that. The 6 yogas of Naropa has not came from the went through the Milarepa. Milarepa also has been received the teachings, but who has holded the ornaments of the Naropa was Marpa Loza has given to the Ngokton Chogyal, one of his great students. Yeah. So through that, then the 6 yogas has been comes, and from the Gambopa received. Yeah, at last the Gambopa received, and from the Gambopa, yeah, the great Gambopa received, and then from the Gambopa goes to his main disciples. Yeah, main disciples. So the Drukpa lineage, I mean the whole Kagyu lineage, especially it belongs from the separated, yeah, it's separated from after the Gambopa, because Gambopa has many students, and all of these are great practitioner and great monk. Yeah, all of these are monk. So they have founded the Karma Kagyu lineage and Drukpa Kagyu and Digung Kagyu. All of that was after the Gambopa, separated. And Gambopa students is one of what we called the Pagmondupa, Cheje Pagmondupa, Gambopa students. Gambopa student was the Pagmodrupa, and Pagmodrupa student was the Druptop Lingchen Repa. Druptop Lingchen Repa. So Lingchen Repa is the one of the great Mahasiddhis of Tibet. Okay. During that period, during that time, it was after the Lingchen Repa, then his disciple was the first Gyawang Drukpa, Drogon Sangpa Gyare, who was the Drukpa founder, the Drukpa lineage founder, the branch of the Drukpa Kagyu. And so the Tsangpa Gyare's teacher was the Lingchen Repa. So Lingchen Repa is from the Tibet side, he was the great Mahasiddhis, because there was many Mahasiddhis around the India, and Tibet there was very less, because all of the Mahasiddhis belongs from the India, the 84 great Mahasiddhis. Yeah. And you know that we call the Ganga rivers, yeah. Before, in the historical, they said that the Ganga rivers, it comes from the Tibet side, yeah. Mainly it comes from the Tibet side and goes the river down to the India. So what they say, Ganga rivers, and the Ganga rivers from the one part and the other side, there was two main Mahasiddhis, two main powerful Mahasiddhis. Over the India side was the Saraha, Mahasiddhi Saraha, yeah. And the Tibet side was the Lingchen Rinpoche. So two of them are the main kind of like a very powerful and very strong Mahasiddhis that time. There's that we call them, like, no one can be able to compare with them through anything, through practice or through anything, education and everything. They two are the very much the famous and very much strong. Okay. So the Drukpa Kagyu was the disciple of the Lingchen Rinpoche, who was the Mahasiddhis of Tibet. Okay. And then Dogon Tsangpa Gyare, and Dogon Tsangpa Gyare was the first who has been founded the Drukpa Kagyu lineage. And the first, the Drukpa Kagyu lineage was, he founded in Tibet in the century of 1161. Yeah, the time of the Drukpa Tsangpa Gyare was 1161. And now, until now, it has been probably going to be now 800, more than 800 years. Yeah, more than 800 years already. The lineage continuously to until now, it has been 800 years. And the first founder in the Tibet, the Drukpa Kagyu, that Dogon Tsangpa Gyare has founded the monastery, which is the Namdruk monastery. Namdruk monastery in Tibet. Namdruk monastery. And the Namdruk monastery was the place that where the Dogon Tsangpa Gyare and his disciple was resting over there. And that time he saw 9 dragons. Yeah, 9 dragons on the land, and just they are on the land, on the big land, and then flew up to the sky. 9 dragons flew up to the sky. Directly flew up into the sky, and then from that period he decided to establish his first monastery, and the name was the Namdruk. Namdruk was the first Drukpa lineage monastery in Tibet. And then second, the monastery which he established in Tibet was the Druk Ralung was the Druk Ralung monastery. So these two are the main monastery of the Drukpa lineage that time. Drukpa lineage that time. And after that, the Drukpa lineage and the followers of the Drukpa has been flourished all over to the mainly to the upper side of the Tibet. And also in the text that it has mentioned that Chagobe Nilam Jogge means the Drukpa lineage will cover according as what you call the vulture, the vulture, eagle, the vulture. It will spread until the vulture can fly until 18 days and night. You get the point of what I'm trying to say, like vulture when it flies, so 18 days and night that he can fly, as far as that, the Drukpa lineage will flourish. And yeah, in that time, it was true. And because the Drukpa, the Tsangpa Gyare has the two main students, was one is the Gyawa Lorepa, three Gyawa Lorepa, Yangwamba, and Gyawa Gosangpa. And the two is the Yangon, Lore, and Gosang was the two main students of the Drukpa Tsangpa Gyare. Right? So from the two main students, the Gosangpa, the Gyawa Gosangpa, so then he flourished the Drukpa lineage all over to the Mount Kailash areas. The Mount Kailash area, which is the upper areas of the Tibet. And then Lorepa has been flourished the Drukpa Kagyu all over the lower part of the Tibet. And center is it the spread by the Drukpa Tsangpa Gyare himself. So all three part of the Tibet has been totally covered with the Drukpa lineage and the Drukpa practitioners in that century. And through that, the lineage has been come from that century to until now. And now is on the 12th Gyawan Drukpa. 12th Gyawan Drukpa. He was the 12th reincarnation of the Gyawan Drukpa. And one thing to tell you that the 6 yogas of Naropa and 6 ornaments of the Naropa, that also has been received by His Holiness, the Gyawan Drukpa. His Holiness, the Gyawan Drukpa. From his guru, that comes through the Drukpa Tsangpa Gyare, and he received the 6 ornaments of the Naropa and also the 6 yogas of the Naropa. And the Drukpa Tsangpa Gyare was well known as the manifestation or the reincarnation of the Naropa too. His Holiness, the 12th Gyawan Drukpa. And the 6 ornaments of the Naropa that will be given a blessings every once in the 12 years. Every once in the 12 years. And that will be going to happen on the coming monkey year. Every monkey year. There's a 12 different zodiac of the Tibetan year, the lunar calendar. So there is a monkey year. So every monkey year is the year of the Naropa, and also the monkey year is also the years of the birthday. Yeah, it's a birth year of the Guru Rinpoche also. The monkey year. Guru Rinpoche was also born in a monkey year. And so on that year, for all the audience and to all the beings, all the people around the world, so His Holiness Gyawan Drukpa will give the blessings to blessings of the 6 ornaments of the Naropa himself. Yeah. So it is until now, it is with His Holiness, the Gyawan Drukpa, the present Gyawan Drukpa, the 12th. So then the 6 yoga, especially, it comes through the spread all over the Kagyu lineage, especially to all the Kagyu lineage, and it's become the one of the main practice of the Kagyu tradition, the 6 yoga, because of the Gampopa. Yeah, the Gampopa students are the main Kagyu founders. They become the main Kagyu founders, different sects founders of the Kagyu. And then through that, the 6 yoga spreaded all over in Kagyu into the 8 major and 4 minors. Yeah, 4 major and 8 minors. But now, most of the Kagyu did Shangpa Kagyu, Salpa Kagyu, Barum Kagyu, and all of them still remain, but some of them are not that much popular, and we get to see because the population was getting very low and low and low and low of their lineages. And now in this time we can see we can have to see the Drukpa lineage still, and karma lineage, yeah, Karma Kagyu lineage, Drukpa Kagyu lineage, and Dugun Kagyu lineage, and Shangpa Kagyu, yeah, some of the Shangpa Kagyu, and Barum Kagyu is still there. Barum Kagyu. And the rest of the Selpa Kagyu, Marum Kagyu was very much that has been not so much developed, and there has been like, disappeared by the time. Yeah. And also the 6 yogas of Naropa. And now, when it comes to myself, yeah, to introduce myself, so where to start? So I was the 13th. I was recognized, yeah, I was recognized as the reincarnation of the 12th Lhakhang Rinpoche, and I was recognized by His Holiness, the present 12th Gyalwang Drukpa, yeah, when I was probably 3 years old that time, 3.5 years old. And that my lineage, or my reincarnation, was actually belongs from the Tibet, from the 17th century, from the last 17th century. So actually he was a great practitioner, and the Lhakhang Rinpoche was the reincarnation of the Lhalung Pelki Dorje. The Lhalung Pelki Dorje, which was the one of the 25 disciple of the Guru Rinpoche, the time in the Tibet, the 25 disciple of the Guru Rinpoche. So actually he was the reincarnation of the Lhalung Pelki Dorje. and was the Nyingma practitioner. But then later, in the 17th century, the first Lhakhang Rinpoche, his name Drukpa Kagyu Lineage. So the Drukpa Kagyu Lineage, he's a great teacher, or we can call guru, Drukpa Kagyu Lineage's guru, was the Kamtru. Yeah, Kamtru Rinpoche. He was the Kamtru Rinpoche. He received the teachings from the Kamtru Rinpoche. Kamkunga Tenzin. Kamtru Kunga Tenzin. So after he became the student of the Kamtru Kunga Tenzin, then from that time, he started to practice getting into the Mahamudra, practiced, yeah, and also he became one of the great Pandita, we can say, the Pandita, yeah, great scholar of the Drukpa lineage. And that centuries, and during that century, the 17th century, and there was this 13 well-known Drukpa masters, which has the same name as a Gyatso, the 13 Gyatso. Yeah, that time, the 13 great masters of the Drukpa and 13 great Gyatso, we can call it 13 great Gyatso. So during the 13 great Gyatso, so Drukpa Kagyu Lineage was the one of them in that time, the first Lhakhang Rinpoche. And even that time also, the place where in Tibet was called a Kham Tibet. Nowadays, it is in the Qinghai district. It is under the Qinghai district in Kham. Recently, every year I go there, every year to celebrate the New Year with all of my monks. And I spend my time over there almost like 2 months, 2 months, 3 months, according to the approval of the visa, Chinese visa. So that place was the Kham Tibet. And at the time of the 17th century, that time was one time the Mongol from the Mongolia, they also come to attack a Kham site. They had to come to overrule the Kham area. At that time, it is said it is the one of the Mongol, and when they come, the Mongolian comes to the Tibet and at the Kham site. And that time was the name was the Ghosh Tenzin Chogyal, yeah, the Mongolian king. The Mongolian king named was the Ghosh Tenzin Chogyal. So when the time the Ghosh Tenzin Chogyal came to the Kham Tibet, and that time Drukpa Kagyu Lineage was there in the Kham, and then he became the one of the guru of that Mongolian king of the Mongolia, the Drukpa Kagyu Lineage. He became the guru of the king of Mongolia, the Ghosh Tenzin Chogyal's guru, in that period, in the 17th century. And then up to now, continuously, he established the first monastery in Tibet, in Kham. And the monastery, it still remains, yeah? But not is the same monastery which was built by the first Lhakhang Rinpoche, because it has been renovated and restored, and yeah, it has been many times like that, like damaged and then again restore, and again, yeah, they have been like many times during the war in 1950, 1958, 1958 times. But still at the same place, they've again rebuilt the monastery, and it has been like a more 300 years now, I think. 300 years still there, and some of the monks are still there. And then his reincarnation continuously from the first and to until the 12th, I can say, my previous Lhakhang Rinpoche. And until the 12th previous Lhakhang Rinpoche was totally in Tibet. It has never been to any other country. All the reincarnation was in Tibet. And only the 12th, at the age of 6 to 7, I think, 7, and he was run away. He's run away from Tibet to India, with the when the revolution time, at the revolution time. In a very young age, he has to left Tibet with his guru, and there are many other. That time there was many other Rinpoches also, like with the 42nd Sakya-Trizin and the Drukpa Kagyu, the Drukpa Kagyu, the two Drukpa Kagyu, the elder one, Drukpa Chesang, Drukpa Chesang, and the Sakya, the 42nd, the Sakya, and there was together. I heard that there was together. They comes to the India. They run to the India, and first they reach to the place which called the Baksar, Baksar place, and after the Baksar, so the 500 monks, they have chosen the 500 monks, like all the Rinpoches and the lay monks and the Rinpoches, and many of them, they have chosen the 500 monks, and they have sent them to study about the Buddhist philosophy study. And that time, the Lhakhang Rinpoche, my previous, the 12th Lhakhang Rinpoche, was very young, and he was also in that. He also went together to study the further study in India. And after he's completed his education, and then in India, the government has offered to the refugee Tibetan peoples a small piece of a land, small kind of a piece of a land to stay there, and to make their settlement. We can call the settlement, Tibetan settlement over there. Settlement. And then rest of his life, the rest of his life was just under the developing their sect in India, in the place called Dehradun in India. They've started working and building their monastery. And after completing their monastery and everything, then he was passed away at the age of 45. The 12th Lhakhang Rinpoche, the previous Lhakhang Rinpoche, was passed away at the age of 45, very young age. And then they said in 1 year, I was reborn in the same family members, in the relatives of the previous Lhakhang Rinpoches. As my father was the assistant and also a nephew of the previous Lhakhang Rinpoche, and my mother was what you called Dharma sister, not a real sister, as a Dharma sister, yeah. Because in Vajrayana, all of you know that when you receive the teachings together, and we become the Dharma sisters and Dharma brothers, yeah. So she was one of that, my mother. But my father was assistant of the previous Lhakhang Rinpoche, and at the same time, he's a nephew also. And he was also a Tulku. He is a reincarnation Tulku from the Sakya lineage. My father belongs from the Sakya lineage, Sakya tradition. He was a Tulku. He was a Tulku of the Sakya tradition. And then my reincarnation was recognized and found, searched by His Holiness the 12th Gyalwang Drukpa. And also at that time, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama was also came to the Dehradun at that time. And but main recognized was from the His Holiness the Gyalwang Drukpa, because the Lhakhang Rinpoche belongs from the Drukpa lineage, so therefore it was recognized by His Holiness the present Gyalwang Drukpa. And I was enthroned at the age of recognized age of 3, and enthronement was nearly when I was going to be 4 years old, nearly to the 4 years old. And then from the 4 years, I've just learned my alphabet into my monastery in India, in Dehradun. And then later for the further study, then I have went to Darjeeling in India, Darjeeling, a very beautiful place over there, the Darjeeling which we called Queens of the Hill. So the place is very beautiful. And the Drukpa monks, after the revolution from the Tibet, and when all the Rinpoches and all the masters are just come back to India, so then the main sect of the Drukpa lineage, and especially from His Holiness the Gyalwang Drukpa was in Darjeeling. It is in Darjeeling. So I went their monastery in Darjeeling for my studies. For my studies in Darjeeling, I was stayed there around 13 years, almost 13 years. I was there under the guidance of His Holiness. And then for the further study, for the graduation we called, for that I went to His Holiness told me to go Bhutan for the further study. And I have done my philosophy and the graduation from the Bhutan over there, almost 5 years in Bhutan. After completing my graduation, I was back to my monastery in India, but then I realized that this is not enough for me. Only study is not enough. Maybe now I need to have some experience. So then I decided to go back to Nepal because His Holiness Gyalwang Drukpa, he lives in Nepal. So I choose Nepal, and I went to him, and I asked him that I want to do some more practice, and I want to learn all the 6 yogas of Naropa, and I want to receive all the transmission and empowerment, everything. Then it was on the 2012. It was on the 2012 that I have came back to Nepal, and until now I can say, until now, then I've done all my retreat under the guidance of His Holiness and received all the teachings, empowerment, and practice. And then I've decided to stay in Nepal most of the times nowadays. Yeah, because the Nepal, the country, it is a very holy country, very blessed country. Because as everyone knows that the Buddha Shakyamuni was also born in Nepal. Yeah, he was born in Nepal. And the Nepal, the country is really kind of blessed by the very precious masters, as the Guru Rinpoche and many lineage masters also from the Nyingma traditions, from the Gelug traditions, and from the Kagyu traditions. Many of them has been blessed this country. And the population over here is, most population is the Buddhist in the Nepal. The country is the kind of a Buddhist country. So that's why, and I have chosen to stay in the Nepal in my present situation, yeah, my present condition, that I'm staying in Nepal. And over here also, like doing my activities, like flourishing the supporting from the Dharma activities to the village peoples and to around the village people, and whenever they need it, to do some rituals, and when they want to do some practice, so just to guiding them. And also one thing to staying in Nepal, it's a very easy for me to go to Tibet to visit my monastery every year. It's a very near from Nepal to Tibet. So that is why I have chosen the Nepal country to stay. Yeah. So this is my kind of a short introduction, I can say. And then now let's get into the the point of 6 yoga. So in every lineage in the Kagyu, the Jigum Kagyu, Karma Kagyu, and the Drukpa Kagyu. Now we can just talk about these 3 main, yeah? Because over here, nowadays, the 3 is the more popular all over, yeah? Drukpa, Jigum, and Karma Kagyu is now most of all over. So the way of practicing of the 6 yogas of Naropa, it is the same in those 3 lineage. Yeah, even it is the same in the Drukpa lineage, and also the same into the Drukpa lineage, and also the same in the Karma Kagyu lineage. And what is the main difference? Difference is only by the lineage masters. Lineage masters, it is the difference of only the lineage masters. From whom to transfer to whom. Because in a Vajrayana, when we talk the Vajrayana practice, one of the most important thing in our Vajrayana, we always and always talk about the Guru. We always and always talk about the Guru. Because without the permission or the blessings, what we call it, a blessing, yeah, from the Guru, the practice cannot complete. Practice never complete. Practice never complete, yeah. But first of all, I think when we talk about the 6 yogas of Naropa, it's kind of the, for me, like I think, in a simple way, I would like to say, the way of doing the 6 yogas of practice, okay? The way of doing the 6 yogas of the practice, one is only that we are knowing about the 6 yoga. What is the importance? On the other hand, it is not only knowing, we are also getting into the 6 yoga and to do the practice. Yeah? Not only just understanding, we are also involved in it, and we are doing the practice in our life. But to do the 6 yoga practice, first of all, that in every practice, whatever we do in our Vajrayana, yeah? In our Vajrayana, we can say in Vajrayana, the most important thing, it is we have to start from the preliminary practice as the foundation. Just to understand the 6 yogas of the practice, it is okay. But when we want to get into the 6 yogas of practice, so then we really have to go through the preliminary, which is the foundation practice. Very important. Okay? Because without the foundation practice, also the teachings of the Tantrayana, the teachings of the secret yogas, yeah, secret things from the previous lineage masters, they call it they have been done very secret, as they transfer their teachings as the ear-to-ear whispering, not even in the public. because the practice and the things are very, very, very sensitive. And sometimes the things are like that, with with us, with the low kind of understanding label of the human being, cannot believe it. Because out of sometimes in the practice, even the what you called the the objects, the Vajrayana objects, what we say, the many things, Vajrayana stuffs. Also, there are sometimes it's a very sensitive things that we really can think that, is this a really Buddhist stuff? It's comes sometimes out of imaginations. And the practice is also the same as that. Directly practicing. Because we cannot be able to get into immediately, because the body and also the mind of the self will not ready to accept those things immediately. So that is the why that first of all we have to go through the preliminary practice to understand the preliminary. Preliminary is we call the foundation, the main foundation, making the foundation before some kind of a building, the house. So the grounding is the main important part to make it strong. If the foundation is strong, so then we can enough build the storage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, doesn't matter, if the foundation is strong. Without the foundation strong, we cannot be able to build the upper all. So that is why we have to go through the preliminary stage. What is the preliminary stage now then? Why it is important? Then now is get into, it will be connect to our life, to the lives. Because of the purification. Purification. Nowadays, many people think like, receiving teachings and receiving all these yogas and everything, it's a very simple. We can receive it from anywhere because we can read instructions from the book. We can read everything from anywhere. It's a very easy. But actually it isn't like that. Now over here we are talking about the 6 yogas of Naropa. Because in this case, we have to understand that we are talking about something different. We are talking about something different. Not like, daily something which is happening into our life. We are talking about something different. We are taking our mind into the different state. So that's why the purification, before talking about those things, the purification is very important. The self-purification, purification. In the 6 yoga that we talk first is the Tumo. Tumo, Gyulu, Milam. Tumo, Gyulu, Milam, vessel, Bardo, Poa. The 6, Bardo, Poa. Tumo. After we completing the 4 foundation of the prostration and recitation, the Vajrasattva recitation, and then mandala offerings, and then Guru Yoga. Guru Yoga. When we really understood importance of those 4 things, prostration, purification, which is recitations of Vajrasattva, and then mandala, and then Guru Yoga, then we have to go through the next level practice of the Mahamudra. These are all included in the Mahamudra. Some people says that, Mahamudra, just talk about the Mahamudra. They think like Mahamudra is something different than the 6 yogas of Naropa. And the 4 foundation is something different than the Mahamudra. Actually, it is not. These all are a part of the Mahamudra. Because it's a Maha. It's a very huge. It's very huge. That's why it is not just a simple thing. Huge as our vision. Huge as our vision. Huge as our mind. Mahamudra, very small sentence. Mind, it's a very small sentence. Mind and Mahamudra. In little mind, in our one little mind, mind is a very huge that all the universe we can capture in our small mind, right? As same as the Mahamudra. Mahamudra, very small things. When you say Mahamudra, it's a very small. But as we are saying a small Mahamudra, the 4 foundations, the Guru Yoga, recitation and prostration, and mandala offering, 6 yogas of Naropa, everything are included in the Mahamudra. As same as our mind. Mahamudra and the mind. Now, what is the things that we are doing now? Mind is getting into the Mahamudra. Connecting to the Mahamudra. Looking towards the Mahamudra now. We are finding something Mahamudra somewhere there in the Mahamudra. But how to find Mahamudra? Because it's a very huge. Mind is not ready to accept. Because mind is not ready to accept. Because our mind is used to it in that, to not to accepting. Because mind has already accepted those things which is conceptual. Mind is only accepting to those things that which we can see from the eyes. But Mahamudra we cannot see. So how to talk with the Mahamudra? Because mind is not ready for that. So that's why preliminary. It is why now sending the mind to look after the Mahamudra through the prostration first. And after that, visualizing. Visualizing what? Visualizing the Vajrasattva and purification. Purify all the unwanted things that which we have inside, full of it. Purify that. And after purifying it, then what to do? Now we have to increase something. The what to increase? How to increase? Increase our merit. To see the great Mahamudra. To realize the great Mahamudra. And how to increase our merit? Through the offering the mandalas. Mandala offerings. As much as we offer, we receive as that much. And after offering it, then we have received enough merit. And now what is it? Now is the time to realize. Realize what? Realize the Guru Yoga. And through the Guru Yoga, then we are understanding into the Mahamudra. We are getting into the Mahamudra. As you know, when you go to the office and you come back to home, with whole day tiredness in the office and outside, with the dust and everything, pollution, you just come to the home and you cannot lay down just directly onto the bed, isn't it? You first take out your clothes, your jacket, hang your jacket, and you put your bags down. You go to the washroom, wash your hand, purify yourself, yeah? Wash your face, clean up, and then change your clothes, and then only you go to the bed and relax. Relaxing is what? Is the Mahamudra. Why you have to wash your hand? To relax. Yeah? Before relax, you have to wash your hand and you have to do all the stuffs. And only after finish your work, you will have an opportunity, a time to relax. Without finishing your work, you cannot be relaxed, isn't it? First of all, we have to finish our work. And then only we will get a chance to relax. Same as that, Mahamudra. Mahamudra is the state of the relaxing, understanding. After all the work finished, now I'm relaxing. Without any disturbance in the mind. After done all the work of prostration, recitations, purification, like washing hands and everything, and then accumulating, merit by the offerings, the mandala, everything. Now, what? Relax. When the time comes to the relax in the Guru Yoga, that time is the time that we are connecting with it, connecting our mind with it. And once we make the strong from the four foundation, and then mind has been, this mind, this monkey mind, which is very much in the city, very much in the rush city, we have just bring that into a village now. Now from the village, we have to shift that monkey mind, which has been very much used to it to stay in the crowded city, in the village. Now village has a less crowd here. After completing the four foundation, after completing the understanding the four foundation, so the mind is like comes to the village. There is a disturbance also in the village. There is a noise, so and so, still going on, but not like staying in the city, crowded city. But now our mind is in crowded city. All the time's running, no time. Mahamudra, just go. Great perfection, just somewhere else. 6 yoga, oh, nowhere. But we have to bring first the mind. So after the four foundation, the preliminary, it is that the mind has been transferred to the village now. Now from the village also, we have to go a little bit up in the mountain. So up in the mountain, we have to walk. Yeah, very hard walk now. From the city, very much traffic jam. In the city, so much traffic jam. Very hardly we can just come out from the city traffic. Yeah. In the traffic, it's very difficult to come out. Yeah. When we do the 4 foundation, it will be very hard for us, to prostration, reciting, and mandala and the Guru Yoga. But after that, we feel much relaxed. As we come out from the very traffic jam cities to the village. Little bit peaceful. Now I understand little bit. Little relaxed. And now in the village is also not so good. Now I will try to go somewhere up in the mountain to have a more peace. But mountain is an off-road. Yeah? Mountain is also off-road. We have to climb from the off-road, yeah? Like go up and up and up. Very hard. So that is the time after completing the 4 foundations and then getting into the mindfulness, which is the meditation, which is the Mahamudra meditation. Concentrating on the breathing, concentrating on the small objects, and concentrating on the feelings. So all this level of the meditation, now that it is the level of that we are climbing on the mountain. And at the same time, the 6th yoga. Actually, the 6th yoga, it is to push the mind towards the mountain. Because rock climbing, rock is very straight. To climb up, it's difficult, We need a very much support. So 6 yogas are the supporter to push up go to the mountain, to have more peace. So to have more peace, what do we need? First of all, the mind has to accept that. Yeah. And at the same time, our body. We need this body to climb. Without this body, we cannot climb up to the mountain. Now, how to make better this body? With the medicine, not really possible. And then looking ourselves, realizing ourselves, where this body really belongs from. Once we realize, then we realize that this body is also belongs from the nature. From the nature. To the nature, artificial doesn't work. Nature, to treat the nature, it can be treated only by the nature things, not the artificials, right? If you want to grow a plant, you cannot give a medicine to the plant to grow, isn't it? You have to put water, and you have to put the plant under the sun, under the wind, sun, and everything. Then you put the water so that only plants can grow. Yeah. For the nature, only nature can treat, not artificial. So this body belongs to the nature, not artificial. And main thing, our mind, it is from the nature, not artificial, not somebody made, somebody created. Yeah. As same as the plant. To grow a plant, we have to put in the ground. We have to put in the earth, yeah, mix with the earth. Earth is a nature, yeah. And then we need the sunlight, wind, and also water. Then only it grows. So same as to the mind, we have to grow what? We have to need this body. But how to grow? With the artificially, we cannot. So this only can comes with the nature. And what is the nature? In the nature, there is no medicine, there is no any other options. And then we looked ourselves in this body. What is really this body belongs to? Inside there is a blood, yeah, nerves, bloods, and everything. Now, how to gain all the, refresh them up with the exercise. So exercise of what? Exercise from the yoga. Yeah. Exercise from the yoga. And exercise of one another thing is to understanding. As I said in the beginning, the mind has to, first the mind has to make to understand and accept those things. That's why we comes from the preliminary, to train the mind. Until the mind has not accepted, the body will not going to accept that too. So first we have to mind to accept. And that's why we need the meditation at the same time. To mind to bring from the crowded city to the village, and now from village to push up, going to the mountain, to have more relax and peace. To have totally relaxed, we have to go through the very high mountain with the rock climbing, with very difficulties, yeah. So these are the kind of exercise that we are doing, the yoga and practice and everything, just to have the peace, just to mind push to the nature to realize the Mahamudra, realize the great awareness. For example, when we get just top on the mountain and when we look it down, how does we feel? Ah, very beautiful. Nothing is there, eh? No any stress, nothing, just free. All the burden has gone. When it comes to the top on the mountain. If you really realize, we are just looking for that. But with the climbing on the mountain, and when we see, this is only for the temporary. But now, what we are looking for to happen this permanently. Yeah. To permanent happen, not just for the temporary. If it is for the temporary, we can really go to the mountain and see just for 5 minutes. Then after that, come back, it will be the same situation. So now the mind is, we really need to train this mind to have the total, forever. So for the forever to have same situation, same condition, for that, we have to wake up this body. And only the things that we can wake up this body, only with the nature. not with any artificial. Even you try with the medicine. Medicine will only help for the present situation. But for the further, totally finish, medicine cannot do anything. Yeah. Even you have a depression, when you go to the hospital, you will have a medicine. What the medicine does? Medicine never kills the depression, never. Medicine makes the nerves like very much like, flowing in the sky. And once we eat the medicine, we feel, oh, now I have no depression. I'm very relaxed. But actually, medicine not making you relax. Medicine is just for the time being to forget those things with the artificial limited time. But after the time finish, you're again back to the same stress, same depression. Yeah. Then what the doctor says, main thing. Doctor give medicine for the depression patient. They give medicine just for a temporary. But main thing what the doctor say, you just go outside to see and to relax, to enjoy, happy, listen music and hang out. The doctor always recommend that. Because there's no any other option, because this body, mind, totally connected with the nature, not with the artificial. So as I said in the beginning, yeah, the yoga, when we think directly to the yoga or meditation, it has no any mentioned on the religious. It is directly connected with the nature to nature, body to body, because this body connected to the nature. So those are the kind of what you call the time being supporters to support this nature body to grow up and to understand. So the inner heat. Yeah. Now the first yogas of the inner heat. Inner heat, the Tumo. In I've mentioned one thing over here. Tumo dedu rangbar. Milam nisul rangdak. Vessel tumuk rangdul. Kowa magum sange. Bardo gyawa longku. So it has given a kind of instructions over here. Tumo dedu rangbar. Devetre. So the Tumo, the inner heat is that we are talking about the permanent great bliss. Permanent great bliss, which we have already in our body. But we could not realize that. The inner heat. Inner heat that we are talking about, for example, for now also, that we are feeling hot, we are feeling cold. Yeah, we have feelings, hot and cold. The hot, it itself is a Tumo, the inner heat. In the Tumo session, the Tumo inner heat, it is to maintaining, as you know, for the nature plant, to grow the plant also need a sun heat, yeah, sunlight, and also at the night the plant also need a cooling and sun. Both of it. To the plant also, it needs hot and cold, both, to grow it up. Yeah. As same as to this body also, we need the heat, hot and cold together to maintain this body. And at the same time, main thing, it is this time is not only talking to the body, we are mainly is concentrating to the mind actually. Yeah. Because one thing we have to understand in our practice, in the Buddhist or the Vajrayana practice, there is nothing related with the, you know, a kind of with the temporary kind of phenomena, yeah, the temporary phenomena or temporary things that we are just looking. It's nothing. It is related with them. Even not much related with this body too. Our practice. Total it is related practice to the mind. Realizing the mind. This we really have to understand. And we have to accept these things. Everything done in our life, doing in our life, good, bad, happy, unhappy, suffering, everything, not as done by anyone else rather than the mind. Yeah? And we are doing the practice, prayer, anything. Yeah? We are praying, we are making some wishes, praying, everything. It is only and only mind. All this practice is yoga, the inner heat and what we are talking about. It has to realize by the mind. Just to push up the mind into the right way, into the right path, to the understanding, towards the awareness, what we are talking about, as I said, towards the Mahamudra, what we are saying it. And also, as I have given the explanation, the example as the plant, yeah. Just our body, you can example as a plant. Think of the plant. It's the same connected with the plant, our body. How the plant grows in the nature, as same as our body also grows at the same of the plant, because both of these two are connected with the nature. And the first heat, as I said, the Tumo heat, inner heat, which is the heat, which is not by like heating self through any source of materials, yeah, to burn itself. Tumo dedre rangbar. And the fire, the Tumo's fire, the Tumo fire, which nowadays I think we can see in the many pictures nowadays, very popular in social media, yeah, the Tumo pictures. They have drawn a person like they're sitting, and then like there's a fire in the navel side, yeah, fire in the navel side, and there's again something into this in the center, the A and Hung, yeah. At the navel is a syllable A, and upper is a Hung, A Hung in the Tumo. The Tumo A Hung, it is the definition of the method, yeah, method and wisdom. The upper, the part of the Hung, and the lower A. Upper is the method, and the lower, it is the wisdom, a symbolic of the wisdom. Now, from when we really understand this, relate ourselves with the 6 yogas of Naropa and with this yogas and the chakras, we are talking about the practice. In this time, in our mind, we have to set up that we are not talking about any religion, okay? We are not talking about any, we are not comparing with any religion. We are just talking as a normal, like logically. As I said, the natural, yeah? The heating up and cooling, heating and cooling. Gulu chagdang rangro. Gulu chagdang rangro. Tumo dedu rangbar. Deva gitu. The fire is also the heating, the Tumo heating is also not that heating which is we destroy something, which we burn and fire something. It is not that kind of a fire we are talking about. We are talking about the fire, we are talking about the heat, which is the heat of self-arising that we have from the beginning itself. No one has, no one has lightened. No one has put in any petrol or burning something from inside. No, no one has. It is which comes from the natural. Naturally. As now also we are feeling hot sometime, yeah? We feel hot, we feel cold. Does somebody put cold water on our head? No one. Does somebody put a fire on somewhere that we are feeling hot? No. And where the feeling hot is coming from then? Where the heat is coming from? Just realize it. Because it has already, it's not talking about any religion, yeah, any philosophy, nothing. It's a natural that which we have already, but only, as I said, no, the mind has to be set up to accept those things. That's why we have to go through the preliminary, just to train the mind to believe those things. So for some people, it's very difficult, Nowadays, there are many people are like that, When we talk about so-and-so, like Pardos and all that, even I also had this question from someone. When I was explaining about the Bardo, the intermediate state, after we die, so there's something happen like this and that, and like the what you call the deities appear in the time of intermediate states and all that. And there's one boy. I still remember it was a very smart boy. And after the teaching was complete, and he asked me, Rinpoche, He was talking about the intermediate state that we are going to feel like that and these, and you can see all those things. Have you ever seen it by yourself? He just said to me, have you ever seen by yourself in the reality? I thought it was a really great question. Really, it's a very useful question. Because this is the mind that, is used to it, to not to believe. Because we forget that where we really belongs to, where we really came from. Because life after the life, many eons and thousands and millions of life before, this mind comes into the samsara. And it is used to it to rolling in the negative afflictions. From many times into the negative afflictions. The mind totally and totally purely. So now when we talk about this kind of, which we have not imagined, which we have never seen, like intermediate state, like darkness, very dark, very dull, and some very like noises, very danger noises, and like all these things. When we talk about these things to someone, and definitely the boy has asked me, you have seen that you are talking about? And I said nothing. Because there was no any answer for them. That's why we say to train the mind is very important. To believe all these things. And if we don't believe, so then I only said that, do you believe the dream that you have dreamed last night? And he said, yes, I believe that I dreamed so and so good and bad. And I asked him, do you really feel that you in your dream, you feel very tired and very hopeless and very much difficulties in your dream, like you are totally about to die or something? He said, yes, sometimes very much danger, yeah, I dream, and sometimes very peaceful dream I dream. And you believe that? He said, yes, I believe. If you believe that dream, which is not in the reality, and at the same time, you have to believe the intermediate state too. Because intermediate state is the same as your dream last night. It comes from your feelings. It comes from your own kind of activities, from your own action. Yeah. What we have done in the daytime, and when we just go to the sleep, and we just think of it and then sleep, that connect with our dream, and the mind flows in the same way of what we used to think before the sleeping. Yeah. So these things that I want to say, that the Tumo, the self, the inner heat that we are feeling, it is from the beginning. No one has made the fire. No one has made the cooling system in our body. It comes from that I told you that it is the happiness of the great bliss. In Vajrayana totally, that we are always and always talking about the great bliss, yeah? Great blissful. The bliss. That all these are things that is totally and totally not any kind of a concept. It never comes from any conceptuals, and nothing related to the conceptual things. the inner heat. This too is the main, what you call the essential of the samsara. Also, we can call it that this is the A and the Hung syllable over there, the cooling, the whiteness, and the redness. Yeah, the whiteness on the top in our channel, and the redness at the place of our navel. Yeah, our place of navel. It is we can call them a main, yeah, the main essentials of the universe. We can call them, yeah, main essentials of the universe. These two. Without these two, the universe also not going to be happen. If you could realize it. The A and the Hum. When we dissolve everything, the universe is also dissolved later in the wisdom. Yeah, just in the one syllable. I think that many of you have been heard about it from your guru, Namkhen Naropa Rinpoche. Yeah, Namkhen Naropa Rinpoche. The dissolve in one syllable, which is A. And it also appear from the A, and it also dissolve into the A. Because the A is a symbolize of the great wisdom. And method also appear from the A, from the wisdom, which is the whiteness on the top of our channel and the A at the navel side. Okay? So I think this is for today. Yeah?
Yeah.
We can talked about the A and the Hung syllable of the Tumo inner heat. And then, yeah, we will continue. See you all at the next second session. Okay?
Okay.
So it was very good and very happy to see you all. And I hope we can talk more and more, and we can understand each other more and more. Okay? And at the same time, I just want to tell you all that if you have any question when during this teachings and everything, whatever the questions comes in your mind, whether it is a negative questions or is a useless question, doesn't matter. Just write it down and to ask me, because sometimes the stupid question is also becomes so very much useful to everyone. Really, yeah. Sometimes we think is a stupid question, but in the stupid question also it has hidden a very great meanings. So that's why the question has to be there. As much as we have a question, as much as we get to know and learn more. Okay? So thank you very much for today.
So, Rinpoche, thank you so very much for your kindness, and with the other next two sessions online, we will go deeper with under your guidance to the knowledge and to the teachings, and I'm sure that, and I do hope that a lot of people will sign up for the retreat next July, and it's my very pleasure and due to thanks once more Maria Teresa Miraglia, who put me in connection with you and promoted the organization of the retreat with Egle and with Tashi Lamo, whom I closely work with together, very, very smoothful, and I am so happy. So I ask you kindly to close this session, and for the future questions will arise. Obviously, all the people is invited. Thanks you to give question next time, because today we are finished, and I kindly you ask to make the dedication prayers and so on. Tashi Rinpoche.
Teta Vule Chungan Gewe Zawatang, Shayang, Dashin Tusum to Sabin Gewe Zawatam Chichi Dundude. Majura Simchan Tamshe, Namkin Gewe Koban Tela to Tobishir. Naso Namne Yamwadan Palam Girbadi. Chapchi Duna Wara Ju, Gewa Gundo Yanda Lama, Tandralman Shuji Bala Longjuji. Sadang Lamgi Yunden Rabzo Den Dorje Shangi Koban Yurto Jo, Sonamdi Tamje Zigwa Nietom Den Yeben Ranam Pamjeji. Kega na jen balam chukwa ye sibe so len ro an ro wa sho rin chen kya zon di yin ro wa kun ta tu tam pe chu na men de shen rang shen tu nyen zo pa ta shen chen an ru ben jik ten se wa ra sho na da ru sen lang an chu gu ngan ku na ye she ro ban jam le pe sab sal nan jiro shen pe nyam len la yer me tu je tik le rol ji sho ben zar sa tu sa ma ya man ba la ya ben sa tu tu ba ti cha ju men ba wo su ta kha yu men ba Subukia me ba nara de me ba sarvasi de me jaya da sawa karma suzam me sidam shiri yam kuru ha 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 ho banga wan sarvata da kada benzir mami munza benzir ba ma sama ya sa to okay. Thank you very much and see you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. See you next time. Thank you.
Have a good day to all of you.